Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Create and Process. Today we are back with another graphic design tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to create out these two amazing graphic designs using threshold option in Adobe Photoshop. If you look at our design, we have created these two designs. First one is a text effect, very nice, very unique, and second one is a photo effect. So in the first part of our tutorial, we're going to create out this nice text effect using threshold option. We'll understand all the techniques you need to know, and after that we'll apply the same technique and create out our second design where we have used a photo and created an interesting design inside Adobe Photoshop. So along with the threshold, we have used other attributes as well. So let's look at how we can create out this design. In our previous video, we have created some amazing halftone effects in Adobe Photoshop. In this tutorial, we're going to use threshold to create this amazing graphic design. So let's begin with our designing process. So to create our first design, let's create a new document. Go to File, New, and create 1000 by 1000 pixel and create. So here we go. So we got our file open. Now let's type out our text W and change the text color to black. Let's scale up the size, Command Control T, and let's change the font to, we have used Evener, and size to black, and let's scale up the size, Command Control T, enter. So once you have placed your text, let's convert this into smart object. Right click, convert to smart object. Okay, next I will add a pattern on the top, and we want a line pattern. So let's create a line pattern. I'll go create a new, and let's say 200 by 200 pixel, and let's create a 100 by 100 square. Fill this out with black color. Okay, and Command Control T, enter. Okay, let's create one more and fill this out with white color. Now we'll go to edit and define pattern. Let's pattern 4 or 5, and okay, so we have created a pattern. So let's apply it over here. So I'll go over here and select pattern, and now under pattern we can select that pattern we have just created. So we want a line pattern, so select this. Here's a click over here for this one. Okay, and after that let's scale down the size, and we're gonna give it around this much. Okay, and over here you can rotate the angle as well like this, but right now we want is simple line. So click OK, and after that convert this into smart object. So this way we got our text layer and we got our pattern layer. Now next thing we're gonna do is to apply threshold, but before that let's change the blend mode to multiply. So just click on blend mode to multiply. So we got this parallel lines on top. Now I'll go over here and add a threshold. So over here click threshold, and we got our threshold layer. Now just hide it. Now let's apply Gaussian blur to each of these layers. So go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Over here let's increase the Gaussian blur a little bit, something like this. In the same way we'll apply Gaussian blur to this. So we'll go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and let's give some blur to this, something like this. Okay, now let's apply the threshold, and here we go. If you adjust this threshold, you can see that effect which we are looking for, something like this. So it's very simple. Bring in your text, then apply a pattern on top, and after that apply Gaussian blur to both the layers and add threshold on the top. And if you want to tweak it more, if you want to do more adjustments, you can add a curve adjustment layer in between. So between the text layer and the pattern layer, let's add a curve adjustment layer, something like this. And let's go in and adjust this. So with this you can give something like this. See, with the help of this you can give a like gaps in between, something like that, and on top using this you can add a thickness of the parallel line. So this one, with this top point, you can adjust the thickness of the thin line, like making it thinner or thicker, and this one is for the thicker lines. You can make it thick, or you can add a nice gap in between. So using this curve adjustment layer you can give different effects to this. So you want to give it something like this, or you want to add something like this. And if I slide it something like this, you can see by sliding this over here, you can adjust the length of these corners. So if you want to give short corner, you can just bring it to this side closer to the other, or you can just move it away and make a like smooth corner, something like that, and do the same over here, something like this or this. So let's get that effect which we want. So I want this and something like this, and here we go, we got our text effect which we were looking for. Now it's very easy to adjust. I'll just double click and you can change the text, let's say S, and if you place it over here, Command Control T, just scale down a little bit just to fit it inside, and enter, and Command Control S, and let's go back to our file, and here we go. You can apply this to anything. Let's scale up the size a little bit, and there we go. So that's how you can apply the text. Now let's look at how you can use threshold and create out this second design. So to create that, let's open our file. So I'll go to new and just do the same, 1000 by 1000, create, open. Now let's bring in our image. So I'll just open my image from here. So here's our image. Just drag and drop your image and make sure your image is black and white, because it gives you nice effect when you apply it. So if it's not, you can just go to image adjustment and apply black and white over here, and after that bring in your image something like this. And now first thing I'm going to do is to mask it out. So I'll create a elliptical marker tool and draw the circle something like this, and just cover the characters and apply mask to it. After that, just place this around here. Let's scale this down a little bit and enter. And let's convert this into smart object. So whenever you create a object or a text or a photo, once your layer is ready, right click and convert this into smart object, because we want to apply Gaussian blur, so it has to be a smart object. So we got our image. Now let's bring in our pattern. And I want to show you something before we go further. Let's go back to our original design. So here we got our text. Now if you want to do the adjustments with our pattern, we can easily do that. So let's say you want to add a curve or a wave to this design. Right now it's parallel. If you want to add a wave effect, you can select the pattern, go to filter, distort, and go to wave. And here we got generation, and here we got a wavelength. So here you can adjust the wavelength. So let's adjust the wavelength, and here let's give it to 1. So set the generator to 1 to get a uniform wave, and this will increase the number of waves you want to give to your design. So let's say you want to give around 40, and amplitude you can increase the height a little bit, and if I click OK, you can see that effect right there. And let's increase the pattern size a little bit. Let's increase it there, enter, and there we go. And if you want to do the adjustment, you can just go over to the curves and just add something like this. So you can see that effect and something like this. So here we go. So using this threshold option and various other attributes, you can give some unique look to your design. Right now in this text we have either you can give a parallel line or you can give a wave line. So it depends on the pattern which you apply. So now let's go back to our image over here. Let's bring in our pattern for this. So for now, for this design, I'm going to use the parallel pattern. So it's very easy. The same step. We'll go over here and apply pattern on top, and under pattern layer, let's choose the pattern which we have created, parallel pattern, something like this. And let's scale down the size. So I'll just scale down the size around this much. Okay. And click OK. Let's convert this into smart object. Okay. And let's apply a mask to this. So with the command or control pressed, click on the image. This will make a selection. Then selecting that, apply mask. and there we go. And let's convert this into smart object. Now let's apply threshold on top. Go over here, apply threshold, very easy, same steps. Let's hide it for now. And now let's apply Gaussian blur. Selecting this layer, let's convert this into multiply, blending mode to multiply. Okay, just to see this pass through, something like this. So pattern should be multiply, something like this. And after that, let's add Gaussian blur, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, add blurriness, something like this. Apply the same to the image with your Alt press, click and drag, and this will be applied. And for this one, let's reduce the Gaussian blur value to low, around 1, something like that. Now let's open the threshold option, and now here you can adjust the thing. So here you can see we can give something like this. So already it's giving some unique design to our image. Very interesting. Now what we want is something like this, white and black. So to get that, let's apply the curve adjustment layer. So go over here and click on curve, and there we go, we got a curve. Let's increase it around this much, and this one around this much. And here we're gonna do a different technique over here. For our first design, we have directly adjusted this something like this, very simple, straightforward. But for this one, I'm gonna invert this. So what I'll do is I'll just bring this graph down and this one on top. Very unique, right? So we'll keep this on top and this one on the bottom, and we'll adjust it using this. And after this, on top, we'll apply an invert layer. So we'll go over here and add an invert, and that way we got that interesting black and white theme. Now let's go and adjust this. So I'll just go to threshold first of all and adjust the size, and we'll go to curve over here and just keep on adjusting what we want. So it's basically something like this. Okay, we'll go to Gaussian blur of our pattern, and it's all about adjusting each of the images. So something like this. Okay, go to threshold. Okay, getting that effect. And we'll go to curve and try to get that black and white theme, and yes, something like this. Okay, let's go over here, adjust the blur value. Okay, and over here for our main image, adjust the blur value here as well, just around this much. And let's give some final touch up. So we'll use this curves and something like this. So as you can see, we are getting that effect. Okay, go to the threshold, do some adjustments, and there we go, we got our image right there, something like this. And if you closely see over here, you can see our patterns are very closer to each other. So let's go over there and increase the pattern size. So let's go over here, double click inside, and let's increase the pattern. Double click and increase the pattern number of patterns. Click OK, Command Control S, and it will be updated there. And now let's tweak it a little bit, something like this one around this much, and bring it down until here, and there we go. Now lastly, over here you can see we have added that nice gradient color to our image, this one. So let's apply that. So we'll go over here, let's on the top layer, let's add a gradient, right? Let's choose solid, and for the first color we'll choose red color. Okay, something like this. Second color, we're gonna choose a little bit of this and light faded red. And lastly, something like this, light magenta. We'll change the blend mode to multiply, and there we go. we can go in there and just tweak the colors a little bit more. I want this to be a little bit reddish and faded red. Okay, and this one I want this to be magenta, something like light magenta, something like that, and it looks good. Now lastly we'll add one more solid gradient, right? And this time I'll add one color over here and choose something like this, greenish tone. Okay, and rest let's 0%, this one 100, okay, and this one 0%. I'm setting the opacity 0%. So over here this one is opacity 100, these two corners are 0% opacity, and I'm setting the colors to this dark color, dark greenish tone color for all the sides. Double click, go there, dark green, and let's do the adjustments. I'll bring this somewhere around here. Let's extend this a little bit until here. This one, extend it till here. Do the same for the upper side, like this and like this, and click OK. And let's change the blend mode to lighten. Okay, and there we go. You can see that light effect. You can just move around, something like this. Go over here, bring this around here, something like that. Click OK, and there we go. Now lastly I'll add a text, THRES threshold. Change the font color to white and change the blend mode to vivid light. Let's change the opacity a little bit down, and there we go. Let's do the adjustments. I'll just select all these layers, Control T, and scale down the size a little bit. Place it around here and the text around there, and there we go. So here it is. We have used threshold option, and using the other attributes we have created this amazing graphic design. So it was very simple, very easy. As you can see, the technique was very simple. Now you can use this technique and apply it to your own design or create some amazing graphic design concepts using this technique. Just a quick review. So basically, when you're applying a threshold, make sure you have an object layer, then a pattern layer, then apply threshold on top. After that, apply Gaussian blur to both the layer and use curve adjustment layer to adjust the effects. It's all about going into individual layers and adjusting the blur value or the threshold value or the curve adjustment layer. And in this second design, as you can see, we have taken a different approach. The steps were very similar. We have used threshold, pattern layer, and the image layer. We have used the curve adjustment layer, but we have used invert adjustment layer to get that black and white effect. And after that, we have to go individually into each of these sliders, whether it's a threshold, curve, or the blur value, and worked on it just to get this effect. This was a very interesting design. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the next tutorial coming up, and if you want more updates on designing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this channel. Thank you.